Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So I just uploaded a video that was speaking about vigilantism in the United States of America. And I want to go ahead and issue a public statement in the Daniel Penny trial, a public statement about the Daniel Penny trial, and a public statement on the right to life. So I'm deeply concerned about the recent trial verdict regarding the case of Daniel Penny and the jury finding him not guilty. And I expressed my concern over the decision to find him not guilty for arbitrarily depriving Jordan Neely of his right to life. This case draws significant national attention. As we know, we've seen this all over the headlines. And one of the reasons why it has drawn significant national attention is because it touches upon the right to life. And this right is universally recognized and it's enshrined under international human rights law. Further, the right to life is sacred and it must be protected from arbitrary deprivation as outlined in various international frameworks. And so we see the right to life in the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. And we understand that this is one of the most violable rights that we have, right? And so states bear the duty to ensure that their security forces, that their private citizens, all of those people under their jurisdiction respect this fundamental right. It is imperative that any allegation of extrajudicial executions or unlawful killings are thoroughly investigated and justice served for the victims and their families. In this regard, I must reiterate that extrajudicial executions are deaths caused intentionally by acts or killings by state security forces and private persons cooperating with or tolerated by the state. Such acts, when perpetrated with the intent or disregard of life, demand careful scrutiny and accountability, particularly when they occur within the broader framework, ladies and gentlemen, of state authorities, and of course, when it has to do with neglect. To be sure, the Human Rights Committee has stated that state parties should take measures not only to prevent and punish deprivation of life, so this extrajudicial executions, but also to prevent these arbitrary killings. This is important guidance, which I believe it highlights the responsibility of the state to prevent not only individual acts of violence, but also abuses of power by the state actors. And these abuses of power, as we know, they may lead to an arbitrary execution. Furthermore, states must actively work to protect their citizens from abuses and ensure that justice is upheld for all citizens, not just some citizens, but all citizens, ladies and gentlemen. So in this case, I respectfully urge the United States to conduct a thorough investigation into how the jury reached its verdict in the Daniel Penny trial, ensuring transparency and accountability in the judicial process in the state of New York. I also emphasize that justice should not only be seen as a legal matter, but a moral imperative, reflecting a commitment to safeguard the dignity and rights of all persons. It is critical that all necessary steps be taken to prevent similar tragedies in the United States in the future, particularly when involving states, state-affiliated actors, and private citizens. I encourage a broader dialogue on this, on how to best protect the right to life in the jurisdiction of the United States for all persons, and to ensure that the United States leads by example in upholding the core principles of human rights and the rule of law.